everyone. My name is Jody Parker, and I'm one of the council members for the Million Mom Movement. I'm really happy to see people hopping on today. We were talking last week during our council call, and we realized that these are unprecedented times, and people are at home with their children and may need some social interaction and some support and a place to just talk about what's happening in their lives and to bring some positivity and some solutions to, so we call it quarantine fever. And so that is why we planned this Zoom today to include everybody. So I am joined today by my other council members and corporate. So Rachel and Carmela and Nayeva, and is anybody or any other members on the line? Doesn't look like it. Sorry, I'm not used to doing this from a phone, but I'm in my kitchen because I said I would make a recipe. So it's a little awkward comparatively to normal. So we want to start by just talking about, giving everybody a chance to talk about how are you dealing with quarantine? How's it feeling? How are you doing with kids? I personally am a homeschool mom. And so if I can help some way with that, I'm happy to answer questions about that. My kids are all in the room right now. You can't see them, but they're all sitting here. So you can ask them questions too. There's the little one. And, for us, life hasn't changed very much. So I don't have a lot to talk about quarantine life, because the biggest change was us having theater rehearsal over Zoom today, which is really weird with sound delays, but we managed it. But how is everybody doing? Carmela, do you want to jump in and talk about what life has been like for your family, how things are going? And I'll turn it over to you. And then in a little bit, I have one of my kids' favorite recipes here that we thought we'd share. It's up on the Million Mom Movement website, so you guys can make it. But we'll do that in a little while. So Carmela, I'll turn it over to you.
Yes, my pleasure. Thank you, Jody, for opening up. Really excited to be here today with this growing community. And I'm not a homeschooling mom, but for the past 2 weeks I have been, and it is something. It is definitely something to get used to. And I'm very proud, though, that my school is organized in its scheduled structure. We were actually just featured on NBC News for the school that my kids go to, because they had created a structure very early on in the quarantine that became the model for a lot of other schools in my local county. We had the most cases outside of Philadelphia, so we were quickest to quarantine. And it was very identified as one doctor who was local, about 10 minutes from my home. He had flown from Europe and came in and really had all his clients contract the virus. So they were able to trace it and contain it quickly. But it is literally 10 minutes from my home, so we were quickly also quarantined. I knew very well in the beginning that my kids should be home, but they didn't know to the extent of which all the businesses around us were closing. And so, yes, there was a lot of fear. There was a lot of hoarding. There was a lot of anxiety in the air. And so, this is week 2, and we have a really great schedule for my kids as they come into their morning. They wake up and check in online. They have FaceTime with their classmates and teacher, and then they go on to check off the different scheduled activities that they have as homework. And then they have free time. That we structure the free time. So what are we all as a community, the Million Mom Movement, doing with our free time? So it's unprecedented times, I believe. And I believe as leaders in our community of health and wellness, we should all really rise to this occasion to enjoy this nourishing time, teaching life skills, teaching the skills that we have been focused on with the Million Mom Movement, which is helping families to eat cleaner, greener, and live a more sustainable and holistic lifestyle. And it's to bring superfoods, organic whole superfoods, into our homes. So definitely more cooking is happening. Hi, I love seeing all these little faces come on. And I'm really excited to hear from the kids. So I just want to share a little bit about my story, why I've led with the Million Mom Movement. Hi. And it's really because I grew up with an autoimmune condition, and it was due to the toxicity in the foods that I ate. And I didn't know that it was that which wreaked havoc on my gut microbiome. I suffered many times going to the hospitals, being prescribed medication, and it just was this cycle of depression that I had gone through for pretty much up until my 30s. But from 30s to 40s, I gone all organic. I found Purium, and it transformed my health, my sanctity, and my family's future. Because as soon as you have children, we are so responsible for what it is that, you know, grows these beings. And I committed to nursing both of my children for 3 years each. So 6 years of nursing and all organic foods and organic superfoods. My kids are a little bit reluctant to share because they're very introverted, but I'd love to start this Zoom by their shares so that we can kind of tee off this, this Zoom together. And sort of the idea that Jody and the other council members, Maeva, Rebecca Johns, who's not available at this moment, but I hope that she's able to jump on, also Stephanie Dawn, we were thinking to create this community time to have each other as a round table, right? And what are we all doing with each other? What are we all doing? And how can we inspire peer to peer? I found that there's a lot of social proof in positive interaction with community. And if we can look at each other eye to eye and see and share what we're all doing with one another, I feel that the vibration will rise. Our feelings of isolation will be lessened. And we can all just jump on together at any time, really, not just this specific container and portal time, but outside with our own teams, our own community, if you're building your Purium community. So I want to invite Kitana and Neo to come on and start the share. They're so shy. It's wonderful. So this is what's also great. I don't know if anyone has at their home those types of task boards and calendars and have your children present them like they're in a classroom. I think social skills and teaching children presentation and connectivity in the world are crucial points of living a holistic lifestyle because you're tapping into their voice. I've been a singer since I was 8 years old. I've been trained and I've been a performance artist professionally, and I believe in the power of voice. I believe in the power of sharing your voice. So it starts at a young age. So come on, guys. All right, so we're gonna have our first share of the day, and I'd hope that others are inspired as well to come on and have your little ones share a little bit about the activities that they're doing that's healthy and that's helping them keep their time productive. And there are other children, but other moms in the council here and in the community that would love to learn. So I'm gonna say your names. Yeah. What's your name?
I'm Katana, and I'm 9 years old, and I'm in 4th grade.
Yeah. And what's your name?
I'm Neo, and I'm in 4th grade.
Mm-hmm. And tell us a little bit about some things that you're doing at home that during this quarantine, right? Quarantine time. Is it fun times? It is fun times. They're loving quarantine life. Why are you loving it?
No.
What are you doing? Oh,
Staying home.
okay. What are some things that you share? Go ahead, Mia. Okay. Walking your dog.
House shake, walking my dog.
Mm-hmm. What else? Katana?
I enjoy doing origami, making origami in my free time in quarantine.
Show them.
And
if anyone wants to learn how to make it, she's been online helping her classmates learn how to create this. And what else do you guys do?
My grandpa's currently trying to teach me how to play the guitar.
And would you be able to do that if you were in school? Probably not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some Purium products that you love? How about you share with the community? You don't have to raise your hand. Go ahead. Go ahead. What are some Purium products that you love?
I don't know. Wait. Wait. Yeah.
Go ahead, honey.
Power shake?
Okay. Is there anything else?
No, I just basic.
Aminos.
Aminos.
Oh my goodness. Okay, come on. Share.
I appreciate the apothecary. It helps me go to sleep at night, and it has a really great sweet taste. And I like Biomedic because it tastes like pizza on the inside. I said that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know. Yeah, that's good.
I said that. And
Mia, what about you, honey? And then we'll move on. What about you? Super nose, frappuccino. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm going to default to moving on. But that is their share, and I'd love to open up the floor to others who might like to share next.
Neva, why don't you hop in?
Hey, aloha, good morning. I have Kainoa here with me. He's just antsy and excited. Do you want to share something?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to share?
My favorite green drink.
What's your favorite green drink?
The beet one.
The beet one?
Mm-hmm.
You mean the appleberry shake?
No, beet.
The beet one is red.
Yeah.
Do you like the red one?
Yeah.
Oh, we like the red one and the green one. Do we like them both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we like it with orange juice inside.
We like the power shake with orange juice inside. If you guys haven't tried the appleberry power shake with orange juice, it is really good. Some might say, I've never done like Fruity Pebbles, but some might say it tastes like Fruity Pebbles milk. Huh. Yeah. What else do you want to share? Do you like playing on your playground? You like having extra time on your playground?
Yes, my playground.
We have a playground. I don't know if you can see it behind us. And your trampoline.
Yeah,
you get lots of
is way back there.
Outdoor playtime. Yeah, so we live in Kauai. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Naiva Flory, and I have been a part of the Million Mom movement since I started. When this guy was 4 months old, I was postpartum, and I was introduced to this amazing opportunity by my midwife. And I was first introduced with the Love Super Meal Shake, which really helped me as a postpartum mom just to have a really easy, nutritious meal on the go. And by the time this guy was like 8 months old, I couldn't have an appleberry power shake without him stealing it. Like, I had to hide in the other room to drink it, or he would scream at me and take it from me, and he wouldn't want to give it back. I have some videos of him that I've shared in the past where he's running around the house, and I'm like, give me my shake back. And he's like, no. So this guy was introduced very early on to the superfoods, and it's been really such a blessing because, as we all know, babies, when they don't have teeth, they're really limited to the amount of foods they can eat or what they can eat. And we all know that the baby foods that is supplied out there is not always the best. So what I really loved is having something that I knew had a ton of nutrients in it, and he could digest it really easily, and he didn't even have to have teeth to be able to consume it. So it was something that worked wonderfully for us. And as a part of the Million Mom movement, he's totally grown up with this in his life every day, so he doesn't really know anything else. He knows there's other things out there, but he loves the superfoods because he's been consuming them. So with that, I would say, we're all an example for our children. We're all an example for the people around us. And if we, continue on our path of supporting ourselves through these superfoods and helping others, guiding them to the solution, that we can really help more people to not only have access to optimum nutrition, but also this ability to stay home with our children. And especially during this time, about to get fallen on. Especially during this time. I have several friends that have reached out to me expressing the fact that they have lost their jobs for an unknown amount of time. Many of them don't even know when they'll be able to go back to work. So it's been an amazing time right now to be able to reach out to these friends and just check in with them, see how they're doing, and offer some solutions for, immune boosting support, and offer some solutions around being able to work from home and provide for our families. And so this guy has been by my side through it all. So if you guys want to learn more about my story over the past 5 years, you can also check out my hashtag, which is I built my business with my baby on my hip. I know it's really long, but it's a hashtag. And you can follow 5 years of me and Kainoa and our adventures, sharing Purium and supporting other moms on the Million Mom movement. And a little over a year ago, I was invited onto the council that Amy developed here, where we've been stepping a little bit more fully into our movement and trying to incorporate more of you into what we're doing, just spreading this message. And so I've been taking care of spreading the word through social media. So I just want to give a little nudge to all of you who are on here today that, if you're posting on social media, make sure and follow the Million Mom Movement pages on Facebook and Instagram, and use our hashtags and our tags so that I can find your post and help promote what you're doing and what you're sharing. That way, if you're sharing recipes or fun activities with your kids, I can reshare it in our Instagram stories and whatnot. So I'm really grateful for this gathering today, to be able to see some other faces, and yeah, it's tough times. And my personal curiosity is I haven't been homeschooling, and my kids have been out of school for an extra week, and we just found out that they will actually be out of school for another 5 weeks until further notice. And so I would love to hear, I know Jody, you're a homeschooling mom, and there's other moms out there that are in similar situations, and I think something important to learn about would be how we can best support our children in continuing the education process, continuing to, have that structured time, because that's where I think I have the hardest time. We live in Hawaii, it's nice out, we want to go run around or go to the beach, and getting them to just sit down and listen to me is something that I struggle with. But I have been digging into some online programs, and so if anybody has online programs that are working for them, that's something that I would like to know about. I currently have a kindergartner, a 6th grader, and a junior. So that's who I'm working with in the school grades. And so I'd love to just keep them on point, make sure that they're not forgetting things they've learned, and giving them some projects to do that incorporate their, using their mind and continuing to educate, learn, and grow. So thank you all for coming here today, and I look forward to hearing more of your shares.
Do we have any other homeschooling moms on the line? Because I'm happy to help answer some of those questions. I've been trying to open the chat on my phone here so I can see. So if somebody is a homeschooling mom and you want to jump in, please say so. But as far as what Naiva just asked, I have a sophomore, a 6th grader, and a 1st grader. And I have been homeschooling always. We started because my oldest was a July birthday, and I was gonna homeschool kindergarten for a year and then put him in all-day kindergarten. And he got into the program we thought we wanted him in. And she wants to show you her lemon green spectrum. Everybody was talking about their favorite drinks, and she's like, I need my lemon green spectrum. So she has to show all of you. And we got him into the program we wanted, and decided that I know you're in my face, kid. She's not shy, even a little bit. And so some really good resources. Homeschoolers Buyers Co-op is a website that acts as the school, and you can get curriculum through them at a really reduced rate. And so some programs that my kids have really liked. Kason, will you just stick your head on the camera so I can see you? Then I'm gonna move the camera. So say hi, Kason.
Hello.
So Kason's 12, and he taught himself to read when he was 5. She was brand new, and I had no time, and I got him these programs online, and I literally did not have to do a thing. He taught himself to read at 5 years old. And the programs we used were, it's called Click and Kids was one of them, and they have something called Click and Read and Click and Spell. And Click and Read is 100 different lessons that takes them through all of the phonics. And then Click and Spell is, sight words and learning to spell. And there's 100 lessons there too. And then we did one called, what was it? Read, Write, and Type. It teaches them how to type while teaching them phonics. And then there's a second part called Wordy Qwerty that is all to music, which my kids loved. And let's see, for 6th grade, Brain Pop is really, really an awesome program that you're really enjoying right now. Can you tell them a little bit about Brain Pop and what it does?
It's got
Here, get on the camera.
Brain Pop is a website on the computer or tablet or phone.
Here.
It's got everything from science to technology. I've been using it for history, for health, for science, for technology.
Elections.
I've been doing politic things.
Let's see. Khan Academy. Joshua just walked away. He'll get on and do a recipe in a minute. I'll make him get on. But he's making faces at me. Don't, Mom. He's a sophomore. Uses Khan Academy a lot. What are you using it for right now? Biology? Biology and history is what he's using Khan Academy for. And if you're having trouble with math, I highly recommend teaching textbooks because it teaches the lesson and grades the lesson, so you don't have to do anything. We fought a lot when they were younger, and that saved us a lot of headaches. And then the other thing I would say about that is 2 things. Homeschooling in quarantine is not the same as homeschooling, because what you're doing is you're doing public school at home, which is not the same as homeschooling, because everything is a lesson and you can turn everything into teachable moments. And so if you do want to go out and do stuff and, like Naeva was saying, you want to go to the beach, okay, well then do an aquamarine lesson, right? And just make it part. And you'll find that when they're doing it, they're going to retain the information better. And the other thing you'll see is, I'm not sure what they're sending home with you to do with your kids, but if it's clearly busy work that is designed for a teacher to keep 30 kids in line, and your kid is like, I don't think the point is getting stuff done as much as it is mastery of whatever they're doing. And so remember that homeschooling doesn't take nearly as long as a public school day, because you can make it work for the individual. What is she doing?
Making faces.
She's making faces again. She likes to make faces. You can make it, you can adjust to the child. And so they'll learn quicker because it's one-on-one instruction versus 20, 25, 30 kids in a room and one teacher trying to teach to all those different learning things. And so you'll find that it doesn't take as long. And don't beat yourself up if it doesn't take as long. This one is in 1st grade and is nearly finished with all of her 2nd grade math curriculum. And it takes her, 15 minutes to do math?
More like 10.
Yeah, I mean, and on days when it's like a new lesson and she has to work a little bit harder, I don't think we've ever taken longer than a half an hour for a lesson of math. And she shows mastery and she's getting A's on all of her tests, and there's no reason I have to make her do it for another half an hour just because somebody thinks I should, as long as they have mastery. So have a lot of grace with yourself. And the other thing that's different about homeschooling is children will whine to their mother more than they will whine at a teacher. And so I've more than once had to say, if I was your teacher right now, because they do go to enrichment programs typically when we're not under quarantine, would you say this to me? Would you treat me like this if I was just your teacher? And they kind of give me that look. And so you have to show them, right now I'm your teacher. And they're more likely to get upset if you correct them versus when a teacher corrects them. And I have to remind them, I'm your teacher right now, and it's my job to make sure you understand how to get it right. I'm not criticizing you, I'm teaching you. And it's okay to get it wrong because that's how we learn.
And so setting that really strong boundary is really, really key between teacher and mom. And I have a friend who, she's actually one of my Purian brand partners, who she said she'd put a hat on. And when she was wearing the hat, she was the teacher. And when she wasn't wearing the hat, she was mom. And it helped them understand. I have other friends who are making their kids get dressed as if they're going to school. Some of them have uniforms, so they're making their kids put their uniforms on during school time to remind them this is school time. So however you can set a really healthy boundary inside your house, I find that super helpful. And the other thing is, in a school setting, they couldn't have a snack, or they couldn't go to the bathroom when they wanted, or things like that. Like it has to be more structured. At home, it's okay if you're not quite that structured, as long as you're meeting the needs of the child in the moment. And you're gonna wonder, are they learning anything? And I remember when Joshua was little, I was worried the first time he went to take a test. And I was like, oh gosh, how's he gonna do? Like, you know, he was like doing 2 hours of school a day, and then everything else was free learning. And he aced all of his tests in 3rd grade. And I was scared that he wasn't going to. You have no idea their capacity for learning. They learn fast and they pick up on everything. So just remember that, because that'll take the heat off. So I'll go ahead and pass it on to somebody else if somebody else wants to talk. And then if you guys want me to do this recipe, this is my son's favorite, ginger snaps. It's on the Million Mom Movement website. And so we thought we would show you how to make them today if you wanted us to. What's your favorite Purian product?
Me?
Yeah, you. You just drink a lemon green Spectrum.
Yeah, I have a few.
Okay, tell them. Tell them.
I like MVP Kids, and I like the cherry juice with the pineapple cocoa hydrate and aloe digest. And I like the MVP Kids Sport Vanilla. And
With what in it?
Cereal.
With cereal. She likes to put it in her cereal.
And I like the Carrot Juice Plus with it.
And what else do we put in it when we put Carrot Juice Plus in it? Pumpkin spice. Yeah. Makes it taste like carrot cake.
I also like...
If you come up with anything else, you can tell him. Kason, do you want to share favorites? He's like, no, not really, Mom, but I will.
I have a few as well. I also like the MVP Kids. I also like the cherry juice with pineapple cocoa hydrate and aloe digest. I also like the MVP Kids with the caramel apple fiber. That's about it.
Barley grass.
And the barley grass.
What do you do with the barley grass?
I put it with my MVP Kids in my oatmeal. Wait, not in my oatmeal, my cereal.
Buckwheat.
Yeah. Can't have oats.
Joshua's shaking his head at me. No, his favorite are the ginger snaps.
Well, I can say it. You just don't turn the camera first.
He needs a haircut, and he doesn't want to be on because he needs a haircut, and all the haircut places are closed. What's your favorite?
So I'm not dumb. I am watching you, okay? You think you can be all sneaky, but you can't.
Okay, tell him.
Okay.
And then let somebody else go.
I love the MVP Sport Vanilla, especially in my cereal, but it's also a key ingredient for like the ginger snaps, for instance. And then I like to have the Appleberry Power Shake just plain with nothing else, just Appleberry Power Shake. And then recently I've been liking, we call it an Izzy drink almost, but it's cherry juice, cocoa hydrate, and aloe digest, right? Yeah, aloe digest. And it tastes really, really good. So, yeah.
Okay, so that's us. So does somebody else want to go? Like, I feel like I've been talking too long. I hope that what I'm saying is helpful. I can't see all of you. So jump in, just like turn on your mic and go, and I'll turn my mic off for whoever wants to jump in.
Thanks for sharing, Jody. I think Yesenia had her hand up a few times. If you'd like to go ahead.
Hi. Is anyone set to go next?
Oh, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Hi. So, I am. My story is quite interesting. So, my name is Yesenia. and I've been teaching for about 17 years. Whew, all of my youth years have gone to giving my being, my energy, my passion to my little kiddos. I'm licensed from birth through high school, between bilingual education, elementary education, even up to high school to teach visual arts. I have my background in art therapy. So a lot of the times the things that I do with my young ones, I have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old at home, 2 beautiful, curious, inquisitive boys. And they keep me quite busy. So in the last several days, I've been volunteering. I've been trying to do the remote work for my school, but I also have been homeschooling since September. So it's a choice that we made for several reasons, but it's been working out really nicely for us. Our son is scheduled to be in kindergarten, and we work with a small community of other parents. So we've developed a co-op here in New York City and Brooklyn, and we work together, you know, as best as we can. And the kiddos go to, they join families about 3 days a week. And we have a dear friend who's a retired teacher, and she does 3 hours of academics with them. But then the other hours that we do are a lot of open learning. What I try to do at home, the structure that I've developed at home is doing a lot of the components that would be connected with social emotional needs. In the last several months, I've developed sort of an online a virtual platform for parents who are homeschooling, unschooling, and even traditionally schooling, and sort of compiling a lot of resources for families to be able to share in the midst of day-to-day, both in healthy lifestyles as well as the situations that we are presented with now. But I wasn't able to bring in my other one my big one to come and share something that's his favorite thing to do at home. But I did want to share with you guys a quick little video that we made together to share some of the pictures that we've done. So here are my boys. They love to pile up everything in my house, from pillows to, come on now, you wanna come? From pillows to toys to stuffies, and they make a big pile of fun. We call it mounds of fun. Then we also like baking. I'm not much of a baker, but I've tried it the last several days. Vegan style, I sort of just use fruits and quinoa flour and so. And they really like the process of getting involved in the kitchen and at home. One of the things that part of homeschooling is, and then part of just keeping our kids engaged, is really teaching them the daily skills that they will need to be amazing human beings in the future, boys that can cook for themselves. And so this is my youngest. He really likes to make smoothies. So smoothie time, every time he is eager to make a smoothie, we let him prepare it. Obviously we do the adult part, which is the smoothie part. Flatbread pizza, we love to cook. Usually my oldest helps prepare all the meals, like whether it's cooking chopping up the broccoli, or setting up mashing up the beans if we're gonna make fritters and so. And then my lovely piece is art. I am a visual artist by birth and trade, and I'm an art therapist as well. I use a lot of the strategies, techniques, and so that we use in a group setting or one-on-one in therapy. I do so with my boys, with the ability that they can kind of do it on their own. You know, it's very much self-guided. I'm okay with my boys being self-guided and choosing what they want to do and leading into what they want to be able to learn at home. So I've set up my kitchenette area, kind of like just an open studio where I have materials and everything for them. So through the platform, which is called Joyful Learning Academy, I've just sort of been compiling a lot of things, especially as I build a community of mothers and fathers and family members that really want the best for their kids. I compile out of the academics section, which is supportive for families who've never homeschooled, but also the holistic side of like how to eat healthy, how to be healthy, how to be emotionally balanced, how to be you know, how to learn certain coping skills, because I think if we ultimately see our little ones as big adults, there's a really good book out there that I read, How to Raise an Adult. And it basically, it allows you to see that your child, as precious, as beautiful as they are as little kids, they're going to grow up to be human beings. And so we have to think about what kind of human beings we want to be able to raise so that they can then make changes along in the future. So I'm really excited to meet you all and to be part of this community and kind of hear what, how much support you guys provide to each other, because I think the more the merrier. Even if I get some virtual hugs from you all, I think it's really great to be able to have a platform of like-minded parents. So anyways, I hope I didn't chatter too much. I'll chat with you soon.
Feel that art therapy background come in your presentation. I loved it. Thank you so much for putting that together for all of us to see what you're doing at home. It was very inspiring, Yesenia. It's so nice to meet you. Thank you. Wow, I love hearing voices from the community. So, hi. And if you don't mind, Sarah was sharing some really great things in the chat. I was wondering if you might want to also share some of your thoughts on this topic of what you're doing at home in quarantine, and your children a bit older.
Hi. Yeah, this is Monet. Hi. And we've been unschooling or soul schooling since she was like 6. I never used like even the term homeschooling because we really just let life be our teacher along the way, because she was such a unique learner, and they called her highly dyslexic. So she struggled with reading and math and a lot of those things that are the foundation of early elementary. And what we found with dyslexia is usually that's just a really highly creative brain that doesn't develop until puberty or like later on, and it just usually clicks later on. So eventually I just decided we're not going to cry over multiplication and reading, and she'll just come to it on her own eventually, and we're just going to harness her gifts. And yeah, eventually she just started loving to read and wanting to do math as part of life experiences, basically, is how we always did math as part of like.
Math is the best way to learn math, is find out what you love, and then put your math problems in how when you would, like, I love horses. I absolutely love them to death. All I want to do is just ride horses all day long. So my math teacher, which is like the best math teacher in the world for me, he would do hay bales and divide hay bales, fractions with hay bales, and anything that I would actually need later on in life when I would have horses and run my own ranch. And anything that gets you to think, oh, wait a second, this is actually how it would work and how this problem will work. And I love those things. So yeah, I'll learn this, and you have to love it to want to learn it, because then you won't retain it. And if you don't love math, then you gotta find a way to like math, and that's a perfect way to learn math.
Yeah, I mean, it's proven that we all learn better by play. Yes. So however you can play with your kids for learning is the best way that they will retain it. Same with adults. So we learn much faster that way. And with the woman that I've been co-creating some things with this year, we had a project that was a couple years down the road to start a schooling called the Rainbow Path. And because of everything that's going on right now, that project has been like starting now. So it's going to be called the Rainbow Path. It'll be an online school for families, and it's based on your kid's soul's purpose. Like it's a magical, mystical, spiritual based schooling based on, hey, let's harness what my child's soul's gifts are and what their purpose is, and to educate them and honor that, and provide education that's based on that. So yeah, I'm going to connect with I can't remember, Yezania, is that how you say your name? Yeah, so I'm gonna connect with her too, and just with other people that online schooling really resonates with, and as we start this path together. But there's clearly, you know, over the years, moms would come to me all the time and say, I wish I could do what you do because my kid's really suffering or struggling in school. And they think it's gonna be so hard, and it really isn't as hard, especially when you have community. We had a lot of homeschool things. And by the time she was 9 or 10, it was a lot of apprenticeships, right? She had a lot of other teachers. And so yeah, if you're just doing this now because of quarantine, you're gonna get through it, and you're gonna understand how your kids learn a lot better, maybe. And I think the whole world is struggling with this fear, so this fear monster that's out there. And so our kids are gonna feel that through us. So I think the best thing we can do for our kids right now is to have that play and have that faith and that love and that grounding into the earth and being a lot in nature, and not having so much stress over, oh, I've got to get these assignments done, or, you know, like, it's really, I mean, the whole universe is saying, hey, everybody, slow down for a minute. And so yeah, I think our kids need to be able to do that too, and as what it is, and use it as a gift. But if you decide that you want to homeschool later on, like, I'm always a resource that anybody can, you know, reach out to, and I can. Oh yeah. Oh, and I'm going to show you for kiddos that when you have your lettuces and your carrots and onions, there's so many vegetables that after you eat them, you can stick them in water in your window and they come back. It's like magic. There comes my lettuce again that we just ate 2 days ago.
These are green onions.
Those are green onions from 3 days ago, and then they're going to give me more onions, and then I'm going to chop them, and then we're going to put some of these in the ground. But I'm going to chop them.
After you're done chopping them and using them, you can do the same thing over again.
Yeah, like magic.
Then you don't have to buy more green onions and lettuce. You can just reuse your.
I love that.
Yeah, plant your gardens, kids.
Thank you for those resources and wonderful the ways to look at homeschooling and the encouragement of play. So I was wondering, because we're nearing almost the hour soon, how many of you on here are brand partners with Purium already? Just show of hands. Or do you know what that is? Brand partnership with Purium. Okay, so collectively, okay, I'm not sure, Karina, and there's two I'm not seeing their faces, but you said you don't look like you're aware. Okay, so we're gathering here today because of a movement that's within our organic superfood manufacturing company movement. So it is a movement to eat cleaner and greener, and it's a Million Mom movement in that we're looking for 1,000 families in 100 communities to influence and impact 10 people each. And that way we can get to 1 million, and that's why we can empower one person to really create impact and change in our communities. And so we are a community that it is a vegan organic superfood company. We do focus on families and family health. Our focus is also very much on immune health, which is why I wanted to open the floor and ask, you know, how many of you are brand partners? Because at this time of quarantine, I was wondering, as moms, how are you able to then share this great opportunity of our immune health pack, the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation, to families? How do you weave this into your business in the current climate of today, of people's fears, worries, and basically we are a home-based business. It's a virtual company, so everything can be done online. We're open for business. Nothing has changed. We're essential because we're food. Yeah, if anyone has any thoughts or anything they'd like to share.
No, just let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. No, let me do it. Hey, just said, let me do it. That's
Hey, Betty.
I'm sorry. I would definitely like to hear more about it. I've made the effort for the last 2 years to, even though I've been very conscious of how food gets processed, and so when I had my second child, to when he was maybe a couple days born, I said, you know what, the idea that you're like, let me just go cold turkey and just leave it all as is. And it was a learning curve, but I started realizing that I had that I was making a good choice for my family. So since then, the last 2 years, my boys don't know anything else but to eat the healthiest food, and to know that that we eat organic fruits and vegetables, and we respect all life forms, so we don't consume any animal products or anything like that. So I would definitely like to hear more about it.
Absolutely. And I think this is a really great gateway for you to see a little bit of the community. We do have to somewhat close this and wrap this up, because we do have another call coming in on this line in about 10 minutes that corporate does host. And whoever invited you to this Zoom, Yesenia, please get back with them, and then they'll connect you to our community. I'm certain of it. So yeah. And we have a Million Mom Movement. Jody, you want to wrap up and maybe share some of the things that we have coming up for people to know about the Million Mom Movement? Or Nayeva, maybe you'd like to share? I don't know which of you would rather.
Okay, let's start. What did you draw?
I'll jump in just real quick. I know we need to wrap up because corporate needs this Zoom line. So here's what you need to know. www.millionmommovement.info, and you can go and you can find recipes, and you can find scholarship opportunities for people who may be interested in the business and the products but aren't financially able to do it at this time. You can find all the scholarship information there. If you don't, I'm guessing all of you ended up here because you have somebody in Purium who they would be the person who would be your sponsor to come into the Million Mom Movement from a business end. You can follow us on Facebook at Million Mom Movement Official, and we also have a Million Mom Movement group. So we have a private group and a business page, and on Instagram it's at Million Mom Movement. And we'd love for you to follow us there. And we'd love for you to tag us at Million Mom Movement and hashtag Million Mom Movement, so that we can help to follow you and encourage you as you help the world. Her brother's going, you're too crunchy with your seaweed. It's loud, kiddo. And those are the big sum ups. For those of you who are interested in learning more about the business side of Purium, which are the superfood products that we've been talking about all day, isharepurium.com is where you can learn a whole lot more about that. And I know we need to go ahead and wrap this up so that corporate can get a hold of us, but you can find us both on Facebook and Instagram or our website so that you can get in touch with us. And you can also find us on Friday at what time is it? 11 Pacific? Is it 11 Pacific? I'm in Mountain Time, so I always forget which time. So it's 11 Pacific, Fierce Fridays. We are starting a letter writing campaign to get glyphosate out of the food supply. And we're supporting people in understanding what glyphosate is. It's the active ingredient in Roundup, and in writing to companies to get them to make sure that they're not poisoning our food, because that would be logical. And so if that's something that interested you, is it the same line? It is, right? Same Zoom on Friday morning as well. So it's the same number that you came at today, 11 a.m. Pacific, which makes that, what, 2 o'clock Eastern? I don't know what that is Hawaii time. Naiva, you can, I don't remember how far away you are from us. But please hop on that and then bring 2 friends. And while you don't need to be a Purium brand partner to be a part of this movement, that is the economic empowerment aspect of the Million Mom Movement. So with that, I know we need to wrap up. So thank you guys for hopping on and being here with us today. And we will continue to do this and bring the community together. If you have ideas or desires or questions that you would like us to answer, please let us know, and we will work on creating that for everyone. As Naiva said, we'll post on the MMM page, Million Mom Movement, that's MMM. So thank you so much. Thank you for all of your shares. Thank you for all being here and for helping everybody around you be healthier.